Are you looking for affordable office space in Marion? The professional building located at 685 Delaware Avenue is the place for you. For more information, call 740-383-6803. Office space is now available. Again, telephone number 740-383-6803. This is Scott Spears, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Scott Spears Now. Today, the guest, legendary comedian still going strong at 91 years old, Marty Allen. Marty started his career so many years ago, I'm not even sure when he started. All the years with Steve Rossi and the great comedy duo Allen and Rossi, and now touring with his wife, Karen Kate Blackwell. Marty still knocks him dead, as I say, at 91 years old. Let's visit with one of my favorite guys, frizzy hair, hello there and all, Marty Allen. This is Scott Spears, and today I'm joined by one of my all-time favorite people via Skype from Las Vegas, Nevada. He is a legendary comedian, a very, very funny man who's had us laughing for more years than I could possibly count, and just turned 91 years old, if you can believe that. Hello there to Marty Allen. Marty, how are you?
Hello there, Scott.
Ready for some fun? Well, here they are, Marty Allen and Steve Rossi. Thank you so much. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like you to meet one of America's truly great golfers. Here he comes. Sir, would you come out here, please?
Hello there.
Hey, are you really a golfer?
No, I'm your Avon representative.
Well, what is your name?
My name is Sidney Khrushchev.
And what is your handicap?
My name.
Hey, I understand yesterday you just missed a hole-in-one.
Yeah, by 5 strokes.
However, you played at the Beverly Hills Country Club. How did you like the greens?
Oh, they're very nice people.
Well, do you wear golf shoes?
No, I have long toenails.
Hey, I understand that you have a gimmick that will lower any golfer's score. What's it called?
An eraser.
Well, do you play in the 80s?
Yeah, I play in the 80s, but if it gets any harder, I don't even go out.
Well, what do you do? What do you do when you're in a sand trap?
I take out my pail and shovel, and I never heard that one before.
I know, I just do it.
Well, you get a new one, discuss it with me, not these people.
I just do it for kids.
Well, throw in an answer, right?
How do you get distance?
How do I get distance?
How do you get distance?
After I hit the ball, I run backwards.
Tell me something. Do you have a caddy?
No, I have a dirty old truck.
What do you say before you hit the ball?
More.
And what do you say after?
You good.
Hey, wait.
Now I'm busy writing my book.
Oh, I didn't realize you were writing a book. Is it a memoir?
Oh yeah, it's going to be very good. It's a feel-good book. When you read it, you'll have a smile on your face. There are wonderful chapters, stories about Elvis Presley, Nat King Cole, Sinatra, Richard Burton, and Elizabeth Taylor. It's just a wonderful book of all about people that I appeared with and became friendly with. And the author, Sidney Sheldon, and the author, John Tolan, who won the Pulitzer Prize. And he was my commanding officer for a while when I was in the war. And it's a great book. It's going to be wonderful. It's so good, I'm going to buy it.
And I'm going to buy it too, Marty. What's been the best part of looking back at your career through writing the book?
The what?
What's the best part of that, reflecting on your career?
Oh, I enjoyed every part of it. I had a marvelous career with Steve Rossi, Alan and Rossi, top comedy team, and then we split very amicably because I wanted to do more things. I wanted to do more acting and more writing. And then I met Karen Blackwell, and I heard her sing, and I said, I'm going to team up again. And we have become a marvelous act together. They call us the new George Burns and Gracie Allen, only I'm Gracie Allen.
I believe that coming from you, Marty. Marty, there have been a lot of great duos in the history of comedy. Laurel and Hardy and Martin and Lewis, but Allen and Rossi right up there. What made that work?
Well, first of all, I was working with Sarah Vaughan, and she recommended me to Nat King Cole, and I worked with Nat King Cole for a while. And then I went to Chicago with Edie Gourmet at the Shapery, marvelous nightclub in Chicago. Steve Rossi was a production singer at the Sands Hotel, and he was tired of just being a production singer. And he spoke to Nat, and he said, I'd like to do something different. And Nat says, well, comedy teams are in the vogue now with Martin and Lewis, and I have a comedian. Maybe the two of you got together, it might work. And Steve called me in Chicago, and I said, well, I didn't know if I really wanted to be part of a team or not. I said, well, come to Chicago and we'll talk about it. He came to Chicago, and he looked like Rock Hudson, and he sang phenomenal. And I said, well, maybe we'll give it a shot. So we started playing little clubs, and you can pick up right away whether the audience is going to react. They reacted to what we were doing, and I had to feel that something was going to happen as far as the team was concerned. And when we kept doing all little one-nighters, finally we caught fire, and when I thought we were ready, we called Nat King Cole, and then we went and worked with Nat. And then we started doing the Mike Douglas show, the Merv Griffin show, the Gary Moore show, the Ed Sullivan show. And we caught fire and had a great deal of success, and enjoyed it, and enjoyed every moment of it.
You know, Marty, I'm fascinated by these great comedic duos, Martin and Allen, Burns and Allen, and Martin and Lewis, and all these, Laurel and Hardy. But a lot of those groups, there wasn't really a great friendship off the stage. Was there a friendship with you and Steve Rossi?
Well, as I tell you, Scott, Steve and I never had any problems. And when I decided that I was going to do more movies and more television, and we had hit a peak. We had gone around. I said, how many more times can we do the Copacabana? How many more times can we do around the country, all the top shows? And I felt that now was the time to part very amicably. And that's what we did. And Steve lives here in Las Vegas, and we are very friendly. And I know some of the teams broke up with animosity, but that never happened as far as Allen and Rossi were concerned.
You know, arguably, Marty, in this day and age, in 2013, of all those great groups, you and Steve Rossi, I think, are the only group where both members are still alive.
Well, I haven't done any research on that.
Well, I ask you that because, Marty, I had asked you one time on a program if you and Steve would ever do a joint interview, and you said no.
Would we ever what?
Do a joint interview.
A joint interview?
Yeah, to remember the old days.
Well, I don't see him that often. He's very busy. He's working with Rich Little now. They're doing something together. As far as us doing anything together, we don't, because Karen and I are usually on the road, and I don't do too many interviews because I really don't have time. I'm doing it for you because I had done your radio show, and I had made a promise that I would come back and do it with you. And that's what I'm doing.
Well, I am very grateful for that, Marty. I want to talk about your style, because you really created a style, certainly with the Hello There. Where did that come from?
Well, we were appearing in Philadelphia at a famous nightclub called the Latin Casino, which was the hottest nightclub in Philadelphia at the time. And we were in the middle of the action. Somehow I kind of blacked out. Steve asked me something, and I looked at him, and I went, "Hello there." He says, "What?" I said, "Hello there." And he says, "Hello there." And I picked up the audience, start laughing, and I kept saying, "Hello there." And when the show was over, people that had been in the audience kept walking over to me laughing and saying, "Hey, hello there, hello there." And I realized I found a catchphrase that you wait all your life to see if, like, you want to buy a duck or I'm a bad boy. You're blessed with that kind of something comes up like that, and you get a catchphrase, and that's how it happened. And then we start doing people in the news, different people from different countries, and we would introduce it where Steve would say, "Here's so-and-so," and I'd go, "Hello there." Then he asked me a question, and I'd give a punchline. And that's how it caught fire. And it became a national phrase. And we are very, well, I'd say, you're lucky that that happens in your lifetime, then you're really blessed.
You know, the other thing that goes along with Marty Allen, aside from the great comedy, with Hello There, is the big hair, the funny hair. Now, you're a little subdued today, Marty, but where did the idea come up with the hair?
The what?
The hair when it's all stretched out.
Explain that to me.
The way you wear your hair on stage.
The way I wear my hair?
Yes.
Is that what you mean?
That's what I mean. A little different. It's a little subdued today.
At the time, I was famous for my afro. I had a phenomenal afro, and I when we first started the act, that's the way I wore my hair, and it became almost like Hello There. As they say, Marty Allen with his crazy hair, and I always wore it like that, and when they would ask me if I'd ever cut it, I said no, I don't think so, because it got great reaction and people used to kid me about it, and I thought the way I looked it was funny, but. When I went to do the Big Valley with Barbara Sandwich, and they asked me if I would cut my hair because I was going to play the Jonah, and it was the first actually dramatic part. I says, "Of course," and I cut my hair, and it had no effect as far as my talent was concerned, and. Then I never went back the way it was, and I still have it, and I'm very lucky I have it, but it'll never be the way it was.
Now, Marty, in everyday life, do you wear your hair like you do today, or do you wear it like you do on stage?
This is the way I am on stage today. Yeah. I don't get mistaken very often for Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise. This is my hair. This is the way I wear it.
Marty, when you go on stage at 91 years old, is it any different than when you went on at 50 years old?
No. I go out. Karen and I do our routines, and I go out with the attitude, I want the people to enjoy the show, and first I do a monologue, then we do a routine, then Karen starts singing, and she's phenomenal singer, and then we do another routine, and then we end it with a dance number. And when we're done, we feel we've done a job.
Is it harder at 91 to go on stage?
No. I don't think so.
How have you been blessed with this great health, Marty? What's the secret to being 91?
Well, I don't know. I exercise. I do the treadmill. I take vitamins. I don't know. God has been very good to me and kept me in shape. And I just go out with the attitude that I want the people to enjoy, and that's the way I go out, and that's the way I am on stage, and that's the way I'll always be. I just go out with that attitude. I go out to have fun. I want the people to know they're seeing a clean, funny show, and that's it. And when it's over and they react and tell me how much they enjoyed it, that's all the pleasure I get. That they come up to Karen and I and say, we can't begin to tell you how much we enjoyed the show. That's what I wanted, and that's what I feel, and that's my thank you.
Do you get stage fright?
Do I get what?
Stage fright.
Stage fright?
Yes.
No.
No. Did you ever have that?
Not that I know of.
You feel at home on the stage?
No, I just go out, Scott, with the attitude. Even when I was starting out, I went out with the attitude, I want to give the best performance I can do. And the moment that they say, here he is, Marty Allen, I walk out, hello there, and go into my monologue, do my topical humor, and feel the reaction of the audience. And I've never had any kind of stage fright. You have an excitement of knowing you're going out on the stage, and I think every comic feels that right before they go on.
Married women come home, see what's in the bed, and go to the refrigerator. Oh, they're good. We'll do the whole act.
I would go to parties and perform. I'd go on a hayride. I was the guy that was entertaining. I just went out and always felt that that's what I wanted, and that's what has made me happy all through my life, that I just wanted to perform. And I don't feel any different today than I felt when I started.
We're all very glad to hear that. Marty, one of the toughest things for people to do is get up in front of a group of people and tell a joke and make it be funny. How are you able to do that? You certainly have mastered it.
Well, I just go up with that attitude, Scott. I'm pretty sure that they're going to react because I try to stay topical. I try to stay humor that is happening now and what we're going through in our life. and they relate to it because I keep it as fresh as I possibly can, and that's my attitude. I go out with that attitude. I say, you're going to like what I'm about to say, and then, go into it. And I've been very fortunate. The audience reacts.
Do you have a joke or bit from the show that you could tell us now that would make us laugh?
Well, there's so many jokes. There's none. I don't usually go on the air and start telling jokes.
I understand.
I think if you want a good joke, Scott, come see our show.
I want to do that. I want to do. I'll have to get a ticket, Marty.
Oh no, I'll take care of you.
Oh, you will.
Just tell them you're a friend of mine, and I'll make sure that you get a good seat down front.
All right, there's just one thing you can do to complete the look. Mess up your hair. Would you please put your hands together and welcome from the Plaza Hotel in New York City, the official wine taster.
You know, Marty,
I have no negative feelings about myself, my career, or going anywhere. My attitude is go out and do your job and enjoy, and as long as the people enjoy, I feel I have, paid off. And that's the way I am.
Absolutely, very well put.
We both broke the sound barrier. He got the Congressional Medal of Honor. I was asked to leave.
So, do you know when it'll be out, Marty, the book?
No, but I'll let you know. You'll be one of the first to know.
Well, I appreciate that. Before we get out of here, Marty, what is the highlight of your career? What's been the best part?
I need your help with something.
What's the highlight of my career?
Highlight of your career, yes.
Well, I'd say doing a radio show and a television show for Scott Spears.
Oh, it's got to be better than that, Marty. It's got to be better. No, what's the best part? Tell me, what's the best time?
The best what?
The best part of your career.
The best part? Well, right now is the best part of my career that we're still able to work and go out and do shows. I take each day as it comes, Scott. And they call up tomorrow and say, you're going on a ship or you're going to do a concert. I look forward to it. And then I'm writing the book, and I'm very enthused about it. It's going to have a lot of wonderful things in it.
Do you have any regrets in life?
Regrets about what?
Anything.
Huh?
Anything.
No regrets.
How do you stay so positive, Marty? You are a positive guy.
That's my attitude, Scott. I don't want to be depressed. I know a lot of people have problems, and if there's some ways that I can help them, really with different organizations, I try to get involved in things. But my attitude, Scott, is go out and do your job and have the people say to you when the show is over, hey, we really enjoyed. Thanks for a wonderful evening. And that's my payoff.
And it's a very great payoff. Marty, 100 years from now, because it's going to be a long time, but when people look back on you, how would you like them to remember you?
How would I like them to remember me? Well, just the fact, Scott, that I was a good entertainer and I gave them enjoyment. And if they were fortunate enough to come to a club or anywhere that we were appearing, and they walked out and said, oh, we had a great time. That's all. That's all I want. That's the payoff, Scott.
Well, I don't
want to feel negative. I don't want to be a downer, and if there's some way I can help somebody, it's my pleasure. And from my heart, I just feel that I'm doing a job, and that's my job. To be kind of person that they can go see and say, hey, we had a great time and loved your show. That's it. That's the bag.
Well, Marty, I got to tell you before we part ways here that you have been on the radio show with me several times over the years, and now on television and via the internet, and I have to say that every time you've been on, I have enjoyed it.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate it.
Well, I really have, and you really are a genuinely kind man, and I know you stay busy and can't do these interviews often, but I hope you make yourself available to come back from time to time.
Well, thank you.
And I do want to let the audience know one thing. Normally I don't get personal here, but I want to tell it's not necessarily a joke, it's just a story about you, Marty, and it was one of the funniest moments I ever had on radio. We'll see if you remember this. You had just turned 90, and you were kind enough to come on with me about a year ago. And we were doing the interview, and I was talking about being 90 and Phyllis Diller being 95. Phyllis was on the show a lot. And we were talking about being 90, and I kept asking you questions like, do you fear death, and things like that. You know, just things you think about when you get older. And at one point I asked you, and I don't even know where the question came from, I said, how do you feel? And you said, are you my doctor? Is this a doctor's appointment? And it made me laugh so hard, and I know the audience laughed hard at that. And it was one of those classic moments. Marty, you're a gem. Please come back with us in the future.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate it.
Marty out.
If you enjoyed them, I'd sit out there with them.
No, look at me. No, me. No.
You make one false move, and I'll appreciate it.
It was great catching up with Marty Allen. He is truly one of a kind. And every story told in that interview was true. And when Marty's book comes out, we'll all have to check it out because it will be can't miss. But for now, this is Scott Spears, headed for the dugout.